I am doing wonderful, Miss Harper. How are you?
I am great. Hello, Obsidian People. Today we have Mr. Tony Smith from Kase Qtr Productions, and he's going to tell us all about his business and inform you on some things that he is doing now. So go ahead, tell everybody what you're doing.
Well, first of all, it's Kase Qtr, Kaseqtr, and I think I'm trying to be exact, but my daughter came up with the name for it. And because I'm originally from Richlands, North Carolina, and everybody, if you ask for 25 cents, they say you won't change or Kase Qtr. So she said Kase Qtr be cool, just play with the name. So that's the genesis of Kase Qtr. But no, I do for the last 13 years when I moved to California, I started doing management and promotions for about three or four smooth jazz artists for that first year. Um, most of them, well, two of them have been Grammy nominated. They
Wow.
were veterans of the industry and pretty much were like independent artists. So they
Great.
wore all the hats.
Wow.
Um, but everybody, if they find the right somebody or company, um, can use proper representation, and that's what I offer.
Wow. Yeah.
Um, and a friend of mine told some folks there's a band out of Stuttgart, Germany, Three Style, and they've actually, I'm not sure if they won a Grammy. I know they've been nominated like two or three times, but they were looking to do some events, get their name, you know, kind of like more in lights here in the States. So, they reached out. We talked for a couple of months, and they were my first international client.
Wow.
6 months later, we came to Cat. They came to the West Coast, you know, picked them up. LAX, we did LA, Vegas, Phoenix, and all of that. So, Kase Qtr, I do the promotions, I do some of the management, but also work on special events, um, charity events, as far as doing the fundraising and the promotions, all of those good things. And it segued from just being entertainers to I have two or three pretty prominent speakers that do international speaking and a couple of artists, I mean publishers that I represent and one filmmaker. So
Wow.
that's what I do.
Yeah, that's a lot. You wear all the
It,
hats.
I mean, it sounds like I wear all the hats, but I delegate too. I've been able to grow a strong network. I'm all about the right connections
Yes.
and networking, but doing effective networking.
Yes.
Um, I had shied away for the most part from Facebook until I started getting a lot of inquiries. And once I looked them up, I saw that they were people of the industry who were serious about trying to get some things done. So, I was able to learn how to parse through that quagmire a little bit. But I use LinkedIn a lot. A lot of the small business or entrepreneur social media groups. I plug myself in with a lot of those and just weed out the ones, that aren't a proper fit. And I'm ready to take advantage of the opportunities when I meet somebody who is a proper fit, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah,
And
that's kind of where I'm at right now is just finding the right people to grow Obsidian People.
right,
I think I
right,
have a good avenue and I'm like pushing others to put their stuff on my site to get their
okay,
names out. That's I mean,
that's it.
that's my whole goal is to get other people to be aware of who these people are and what they're doing in, all over, not just locally, but everywhere. And I
Hmm.
think it's very important for people to understand um, that they have to make sure they know the people that are in their local area and that there's other people out in the world because everything now is virtual, so you can meet
Right,
people from all over the place. But what about the people
absolutely.
that are local? So it's that right now it has become local, but
Right.
it, it's growing so fast. It's growing so fast. So the next
Well,
one I
that's
have for
exciting.
you
That's exciting.
is
Yeah.
how do you continue to learn and stay on top of things in your role?
I guess a big part of that would be every project that I work on, or every, you know, whether it's from that initial conversation, um, doing my fact gathering part of it, a potential client getting to know me, I always keep notes. I always keep notes. I just don't write, and I've learned, trust me, this is through trial and error, um, and listening to folks who have been where, you know, I'm trying to get, I was trying to get to, or, you know, and they say write down the whole story and document it, even if it's crib notes. You're the only one that has to understand what those notes mean, and you can rely on those in up because you're going to learn from
Yep.
them, And so I've learned how to self evaluate myself, um, and when a new project or a new prospect comes my way, just through regular recall, you'll hear a buzzword, or you might be in the middle of this part of a conversation, and you don't have to stumble for the answer or stumble to show them what the resolution is, because you've been there and you can echo that smooth with
Yep.
confidence. And you know because the more confident you are in what you're putting out there, and the more effective it's going to come across when you're talking to somebody.
Yeah.
It's not like an interview, but it's kind of sort of. If you know your it, you know what I'm saying. You're supposed to resonate that.
Yes.
You're supposed to resonate that. You know, and so I pay attention to that, and I never have and never will have a problem reaching out to people that I know, uh, have knowledge and have wisdom,
Yes.
and don't have any problem sharing it. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Um, and the biggest thing, Kiki, is learning from my mistakes, staying on top of, study my industry,
Yes.
study the trends, study the advent of new platforms, all of those things. I study my competition,
Yes.
because I'm not the only one doing what I do. So I can take bits and pieces, you know, of what somebody is doing here in LA, in Chicago, in DC, New York, in South Africa, in Germany, and I can just kind of mold and put my own twist on it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it'll it'll have a little hint of flavor, almost like, you know, it's like one of them rubs with a whole bunch of different spices in it, but it's got Kase Qtr name on the bottle.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I go with that, and one of the biggest things is staying humble and not being afraid to ask.
Yes. Um, that's what I do. I'm not afraid to ask. I
Hmm.
try to be as forward as possible, and
Right.
um, I get nervous. I get a little nervous because I never know what someone's going to say, but I always tell
Right.
myself the worst thing someone can say is no. That's the
Yes.
worst thing they can say is no, and I can deal with no. And I'll
That
just take
grows
my
on
no and I'll say thank you for your time and I move on. I
you. Yes.
try not to dwell on that, and I try not to work myself up so much because of that. So those
Hmm.
words you say are wise, very wise, because a lot of people that are coming in new, They think
Yes.
no means no never, but it could be just no for
Right.
that time. So
Right.
I tried my best to like, okay, well, it's no for now. Just remember, I'm here. If you ever change your mind, I want people to feel
Hmm.
comfortable to just go. If you're ready, hey, I'm here.
Right.
So I'm moving
Right.
on to my next question. What
Okay.
excites you about what you do?
The relationships I've been able to build with people all over the world, people that I would have never met if I wasn't doing what I do, and the friendships that have evolved, you know, over those times. My guy over in South Africa, West Cape Town, South Africa, we met a couple of years ago, and his baby had just been born. So when we talk now, once every 3 or 4 months, first 5 minutes, I'm like, yo, man, put Shorty on the phone. You know what I mean? And I do the Uncle Tony stuff. That's the kind of stuff that gives me joy,
Yes.
and being able to impart whatever wisdom or whatever guidance I have on strong, progressive, intelligent, dedicated brothers and sisters like yourself. So I can
Oh.
sit back 6 months from now or a year from now, and my only call is, okay, girl, when you going? I need my ticket to come to that award show. You know what I mean? To see you succeed.
Yes.
And because it's a good feeling to be able to say, man, I remember the first conversation we had. You know what I'm saying? I remember when she called me when somebody gave her one of those hard ghetto no's and she couldn't think of anybody else. She said, I'm just going to call Tony. And cried in my ear or cried on my shoulder because I told her that's what I'm here for. Take that out on me and go out there tomorrow and get the next one. Knock it out the park. That kind of stuff.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
That stuff
That's the
makes
kind of stuff.
memories.
That's legacy building stuff.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So being at a point where I can kind of visualize having built at least a little bit of a legacy, you know, and you know, I know that my mom and my dad, rest in peace. I know my mother is just smiling like I don't know what, and my father up there in heaven just talking smack. Or that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Making the ancestors proud.
Amen. 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 So that would be it, babe.
Well, talking about legacy, you also have your magazine that you're working on, which is absolutely awesome.
Thank
I've read
you.
it probably
Thank
like
you.
3 times, and every time I go through it, I find something different. So I love it. I
That
love
is
it.
wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, we're on November, actually the 15th, will be our third issue. And, we had a couple of smooth jazz artists, neo soul artists on the cover. This one, I got Willie Bradley, who is #1 on the smooth jazz charts, but also have, business entrepreneurs.
Yes.
A brother I grew up with on the dirt roads in North Carolina is doing a big piece on him, touching the spirit, Reverend Anthony Merritt. We played Little League Baseball together.
Oh
And
wow.
he's built an amazing church there, you know. And I got a couple of op-eds. It's very, very dynamic.
Yes.
One of the things that uh, this magazine is for independent artists, filmmakers, entrepreneurs, advocates, the whole 9 yards. Anybody that has that independent spirit and drive.
Yes.
I make sure all of the content is in-house content. It's from folks who work at Incognito.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And the different segments. We have an amazing segment. At first, it was Voices of a New Generation. That was the first issue. I didn't do anything the second one. but I got something very exciting for this third one. Somebody even talked me into changing the name, and I think but I'm excited,
I'm wondering
and
who that would be.
I am very proud. That's one of the biggest things, as your folks will hear in networking, is one of the artists that I feature in my magazine is Mr. Otis Roberts Sr. And he has some amazing artwork shown and profiled all around the world. And he mentioned his daughter and that she was doing some wonderful things. And he was like, I'm not going to overstep my bounds. I'm going to just send you some stuff and you can check her out. So, needless to say, in starting in November, I'm excited that we're going to have a dynamic segment,
Yes.
New Gen Voices, and it's going to be hosted and moderated by one Kiana Harper,
Yay!
aka Kiki.
I'm so excited. I am so excited. I am beyond excited about doing this.
So
Like
am
I said,
I. So
things
am
have
I.
been, I put my foot out and it was just, I took off. And I'm
You're doing
excited.
proper networking.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I'm
Great.
excited to just give myself to the world, to let people know that you have to step out on faith.
You
That's
have
just
to
what you
step
have to
out
do. You have to. You won't
and
accomplish anything if you don't. So I stepped
and if
out.
you got if you have multiple, just like folks have multiple streams of income, if you have multiple viable means of, sharing your voice and your message, like with your thing with Obsidian, and now with the magazine, and with in the digital age, see, your voice is going to be heard and read by folks all around the world. Obsidian, right now, that's your local. In the Incognito is your worldwide, your international. And
Yes.
anything you do at Indie Incognito, Obsidian is already a part of the family. So folks are
Yes.
going to hear about that too.
I am
Absolutely.
excited. I am so excited. And I want to thank
Great.
you for taking this small portion time to talk to me and getting my audience to know who you are and what you do. I wrote an excellent segment on you. I'll let you
Thank
see that before
you.
everybody else does. But yeah, I'm
Perfect.
excited. And I thank you so much, Tony. Have a wonderful evening.
No, thank you. Thank you, Kiki. It's my pleasure. And Indie Incognito magazine is on Facebook
Yes.
and on Instagram. All you
Yes.
got to do is put that name in there and you pull it up.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.